Hello everyone, hope everybody's doing great today. Appreciate those who watch this video. I hope you enjoy it. Today we talk about Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. The first time I saw this, I saw it as a little kid. I saw it multiple times as a little kid when it first came out. I wasn't that little. I wasn't like in my diapers or anything, but I was younger, a lot younger. So I saw it's on Amazon Prime, and it's like, you know what? Let's watch Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Maybe I still liked it. I enjoyed it as a kid, which is a weird movie for a kid to like. But I did enjoy it. I watched it as a kid. I thought it was funny. It's a comedy horror movie, kind of made in the premise of a B movie type of deal, considering who Elvira is. If you don't know who Elvira is, she's kind of like those. She was kind of like a hostess, I could say, of a show, and she would introduce like old time horror movies or kind of like B movies, and she would play those and talk about them. If you really want to know who she is, this movie just kind of touched upon what she did back in the day in her career, as it gives you a couple of examples of what her show would have been like. In my neck of the woods here in Indiana, we had a guy named Cemetery. Every Saturday night, he would play old-fashioned horror movies. I don't think they were all B movies. I'm trying to think, because I was, like I said, I was about the same age as I saw Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, but they were old movies, black and white. I thought they were pretty good, but I was just a kid, right? Anyways, let's get into Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. If you've never seen this movie and you want to know what it's about, basically Elvira, she's needing some money because she wants to go to Las Vegas to do a show, and she thought she had promoters, but they kind of reneged the deal on her. Renegotiated the deal for her, and she has to come up with her part of the money in order to put the show on. She's kind of desperate, and then lo and behold, out of the blue, she has a long distance relative who dies, and she goes and receive her inheritance, and she ends up inheriting a house and a book that has magical spells. It's a cookbook that has magical spells, and she has a evil uncle who wants that cookbook so he can do evil stuff. That's basically the plot of the movie. The town that she ends up going to receive her inheritance. Inheritance is like very conservative, I guess you can say. Kind of like Footloose. It's kind of like one of those topics. I don't know, one of those tropes from the 80s where you have a town and you can't dance, you can't do anything. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like a fish oil water. She's from California. Imagine that's where her show is taking place. And, she's very liberal, as you can see how she dresses. And she goes to this very conservative town and look at her, it's like, oh no. So it's kind of like the liberal saves the conservatives from their conservatism type of deal, no fun, nothing like that. The funnest thing that these people do is go to a bowling alley, and she kind of takes over the youth. Just like the liberals. You got to start with the youth, right? For the revolution. Good old Chairman Mao and Stalin, or should say Lenin, you got to start with the youth to turn them to liberals, good fashioned liberals to do their dirty work. It's kind of like this one, but she's free loving, right? It's all right to join the Elvira cult. She's very free loving, free out there going. Anyways, the parents don't really like that their children are gravitating to Elvira and try to kick her out. The movie, it's a comedy. It's funny. She inherits the house. It kind of looks like the Addams Family. I got off track there for a couple of minutes. Apologize for that. But I want to do one take, right? I don't cut it. I'm not going to cut it out. So it is a comedy. Very funny. She breaks the fourth wall a lot. There's a lot of innuendo jokes, because Elvira is known for her big honkers and stuff like that. So there's kind of like a lot of fan service shots there. A lot of jokes about them. She jokes about them. Other people tease her about them. Just gonna say about them. You know what I'm talking about if you know who Elvira is. Overall, though, the acting, she does a good job. Elvira, played by Cassandra, whatever. I'm just gonna go with this review as it is, as she would do her movies, because because this is going bad. You know it's bad when you're saying it's bad, but I'm only doing one take. I'll tell you what, I'm doing this on one take. I'm not stopping. But yeah, so there's a lot of breaking the wall, a lot of innuendos, great comedy scenes. You will laugh a little bit. You got your typical returning cast. One thing about the 80s is if you're an actor and you played a scumbag in one movie, you're a scumbag in all the movies, right? So you got the guy from Ghostbusters coming back here, Mr. Fuller. I think he's the one that works for the mayor. No, I think he's the one. Is he the one that locks up? There's two different scumbags in Ghostbusters. I think he's in I can't remember if he's in the first one or the second one. I think he locks. Well, don't the Ghostbusters get put in jail in both of them? But I can't remember. But he's in the Ghostbusters. I think it's Fuller is his name. It's the actor's name. I'm just going with it, guys. I'm just going with this review. It's not the best one I've ever done. I don't care. And this part has a cult classic too, right? So there's going to be a lot of people saying, man, this guy's terrible. No, I'm going to go. But, you know, a lot of break wall. And then you got the secretary from Mr. Bueller. Ferris Bueller's Day Out. I don't know what I said, Mr. Bueller. From Bueller's Day Out, the redheaded secretary. She's in it, and her name is Chastity. Chastity, it starts with a P, Pariah, Chastity Pariah. I guess you get the joke on that one, right? But, you know, they're the ones who, she's Chastity Pariah. She's the one that's really against Elvira. She doesn't like what Elvira's doing to her town, you know, making all these people sex crazy and stuff, which is kind of leads up to the funny scene where Elvira, makes up a recipe from the cookbook, and she thinks that it's going to come out a monster because she done it before. She made this recipe not knowing what the heck was going to happen. And if you knew what the ingredients were, like she puts a bunch of worms into this thing, and she's willing to eat it with this guy. Makes you want to get sick. But she like it's some kind of casserole, and a monster comes out of it. So the community's having this big old group party, and she's expecting this casserole for a monster to come out. Instead, she made like a aphrodisiac, whatever. She made this casserole that makes everybody want to, you know, get it on, get it on, right? So it has the opposite effect on what she was trying to do. But she still got her revenge, right? She was trying to get revenge because these people keep on giving her a hard time, chasing her out. Just got some pretty good special effects. It does get a little scary at the end when her uncle finally gets the book and is about to go do evil things, turn the world into this big dark utopia. Pretty good special effects in that one. She throws her shoe at him and it sticks in his head. It's pretty good. That's pretty good makeup there. So it gets a little scary. Overall, it's a pretty good comedy. It's not the best. I'm going to recommend it with caution. But if you like silly, dark comedies, horror comedies, you know, it's not as good as like Evil Dead, Army of Darkness. It's not that good. But it's all right. It's just a decent movie, kind of bad. Like I said, Elvira does a pretty good job acting. I'm just going to call her Elvira because she goes, that's her stage name, basically. And then, you know, you get and then the ones, like the Ferris Bueller woman and the Ghostbuster guy, Fuller or whatever, they do a good job in their roles. But it's like all the other actors, it feels like there's like the first movie, like they're all pretty bad in it. Their acting's pretty wooden, pretty, needs work, right? They need to work. Their acting could have used some work, just like this review could have used some work. But it's good enough for this movie to get the comedy out. You know, the bad acting kind of helps it, I guess, a little bit. I can see, you know, I did enjoy it as a kid. And I remember as a kid at the end of this movie, I haven't seen it, she does finally get her stage show in Las Vegas, and then she's on her stage, and she's got these tassels attached to her breast, you know, and she's kind of moving around. I don't know how you do it, stuff like that. I remember asking my mom, what is she doing, and if she could do it. I don't know. I was innocent. I was like 9 or 10 years old when this came out. I do remember watching that as a kid. And it does seem like at the end, her breast size isn't as big as it is for most of the movie. At the end of those last 2 minutes, it looks like they got a little smaller. I don't know if this is how they shot it. you know how, you know, camera angles or something. But it's kind of funny because in the joke, there's a joke in the movie where her rival for the love interest, she has like, her boobs are like very like, she has big boobs too, but they're very pointy like, and it turns out she's like stuffing her bra. So I don't think Elvira is stuffing her bra whatsoever, but they look like they're smaller at the end. And we'll end this review on that one. If you're still here, thank you for bearing with it. Got somebody revving their engine up, so I don't know if you can hear that or not. But goes with the review, right? Anyways, hopefully you enjoy this. Hopefully you had a good time listening to this. I had fun rambling on and getting off track and everything. I didn't realize I was going to do a 2.5 minute movie review on this. Probably actually 4 minutes, but who knows. Check out some other reviews. I think they're a little better than this one. Have a great day. Bye.